Okay, so what we're going to talk about right now, we want to discuss, again, how we just explained it was how the body motion or the swing starts from the ground up. Well, we're looking at the composite view of a tour player from underneath. And what we've got here is this black line that the cursor is pointed at this point. That is representing the ball position for the driver. Well, again, as we know with the driver, the key to hitting the ball far is to have your weight 60% on your right side for a driver with your spine and right hip tilted lower so that your spine is tilted slightly to the right. That is represented by the red cross symbol here. So you can see that's not quite in the middle. Now as he works back, you can see where the weight is actually moving towards. It is moving towards the right heel for this right-hander. So as it's working back, and one thing I want to show you really interesting, Damon's going to take this through one step at a time. As he reaches the top of his swing, okay, you can see that the red cross has shifted just a little bit already in the downswing. So let's back this up just a couple frames. So here's where the club is reaching. This is about halfway back. If you can really quickly just, when it gets to its peak point right here, let's go forward just a few frames. And what you're seeing is how his weight is on his right side. And now stop. Let's go to face on really quick. And what you're going to see is that's when his weight is loaded onto his right hip. Now if we can go back from underneath, from below, as we continue going frame by frame here, you're going to see that his weight is going to actually start shifting to the right. So again, that's what we're looking for at this point. So when the club really is in about that halfway back position, you are seeing that his weight is on his right side. As the club continues to work back, this proves the point that the club actually starts from the ground up, from the lower body. Now his weight is moving back towards the left ball of the foot. It's working out. That's what produces that and allows the club to come on the proper plane and then through. Damon, what do you see there as well?
Well, this is really kind of starting to talk about balance and leverage points. You know, if you're utilizing your balance well, your center of gravity, obviously it's at a position. We're shifting a little bit. This is going to be that driver position. We're shifting a little bit, like he said, 60% onto that right side. If you're in a good setup position, and I'm just going to go into an address position. If you're in a good setup position with the proper alignment with the hips, proper alignment, you know, this is a perfect world, proper alignment with the shoulders. Look where that, you know, center balance piece is. So just to reiterate, he's using his balance points really, really well and utilizing and taking advantage of the body to get a better impact of the golf swing. So especially as we use the driver. Now take a look at these leverage points though, CJ. This is to me absolutely huge, and we did it with our cues on the training floor, and this is where it starts to have transference, is now when I'm really utilizing my leverage points, especially into that right foot. You know, if I'm going into, I'm just going to go face on again. If I'm going to go into my right side, I really have that right hip function going really, really well. Okay? Right. And so my center of balance, you know, notice it's not going to shift. I see a lot of amateurs with a lot of center of balance way over here, and so that represents postural lines here. Okay, I like that. And so those postural lines, we start to have hip bump or head bumps over here. Center of balance gets really, really thrown off. Really, my center of mass really starts from here. This is what's really represented if I had a gravity line or a plumb line drawn from my center of balance, boom, right through there. And so this is, to me, once again, this is our perfect world composite. However, if we can master staying centered and not having this at the transition piece way over here, I'm now utilizing my feet. I'm utilizing ground reaction forces. So once I can utilize this ground reaction force from the inside of that right foot, and then I begin that transition of power over to my right, that to me is very much balance leveraged.
Yeah, and again, that's the key there. Is again the sequence. It all kind of comes back to sequence again. What you're talking about, the leverage points. You know, are you in a good foundation initially? That's why we work out. That's why we do the posture drills and all those things so that your body can move. And that really, again, sums up how or what the golf swing looks like from a three-dimensional view. Again, the weight goes back. You know, let's show address a second here. Let's show the address position. You're going to see how the weight in the transition goes a little bit towards the right heel, but it's not a slide, it's a turn. And then it goes from the right heel. You're going to see a little loop of that cross, goes towards the left heel, and then back or I'm sorry, left ball of the foot, and then a little bit more towards the left heel there at the finish. And that is the groundwork. That's the footwork. Building a foundation, building a house from the foundation up, and that is the key, the first key, really, other than setup, to creating power.
Yeah, absolutely. Utilize that ground, guys.